Tehran will not agree to limit its nuclear program, but is ready to provide the IAEA with access to its nuclear facilities. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araqchi said this during indirect talks with US President's special envoy Stephen Whitkoff in Oman on April the 12th. Arakchi stressed that Iran will under no circumstances agree to complete restrictions on its nuclear program. However, the IAEA will be the only organization that will be granted access to Tehran's nuclear facilities. According to the publication, during the negotiations, about 10 written exchanges of information were held between the parties. The Iranian delegation's messages indicated the need to reach a general framework agreement to continue the negotiations, and that Iran would await an alternative view from the United States at the next meeting if Washington did not accept Tehran's proposal. US President Donald Trump told that Washington is prepared to take tough action against Iran if necessary and is considering, among other things, the destruction of Tehran's nuclear facilities. It's very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they have to move quickly in negotiations with the US. If we have to do something very tough, we will do it, Trump said. Asked if these measures included strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities, Trump replied, "Absolutely." It should be noted that a meeting of the US and Iranian delegations was held in Oman on April the 12th. The Iranian delegation was led by Foreign Minister Abbas Araqchi, and the US delegation was led by US President's Special Representative Stephen Whitkoff. Although Iran insists its nuclear program is purely for peaceful ends, experts point out that it's now producing the equivalent of 1 bomb's worth of highly enriched uranium a month. As diplomatic momentum builds, the International Atomic Energy Agency's Director General, Rafael Grossi, is expected to visit Tehran. Recall, the Pentagon has sent at least 6 B-2 bombers, 30% of the US Air Force's stealth bomber fleet, to the Indian Ocean island of Diego Garcia in what analysts have called a message to Iran as tensions once again flare in the Middle East. The development comes as US President Donald Trump and his defense chief Pete Hegseth warn of further action against Iran and its proxies, while US jets continue to attack the Tehran-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen.
The United States flew long-range B-1B bombers in a show of force against North Korea on Tuesday, days after the powerful sister of Kim Jong-un vowed to resist a US-led push to eliminate the North's nuclear program. According to Associated Press, North Korea often reacts to the US deployment of B-1B bombers and other powerful military assets with missile tests and fiery rhetoric. Tuesday's flyover of the US bombers could draw an angrier response because it happened when North Korea was marking a key anniversary, the 113th birthday of state founder Kim Il-sung, the late grandfather of the current leader. South Korea's defense ministry said the US bombers participated in a South Korea-US aerial drill over the Korean peninsula to strengthen the allies' combined operational capability and demonstrate their deterrence capability against North Korea's advancing nuclear program. A ministry statement said South Korean F-35 and F-16 fighter jets and American F-16 fighter jets also took part in the training. It said South Korea and the US will continue to expand their joint military exercises to respond to North Korean nuclear threats. It was the second time a US B-1Bs had participated in a drill with South Korea since President Donald Trump began his second term in January. Trump has repeatedly said he will reach out to Kim Jong-un to revive diplomacy. North Korea hasn't directly responded to Trump's outreach. Last Wednesday, Kim Yo-jong, Kim's sister and a senior official, derided the US and its allies in Asia over what she called their daydream of denuclearizing the North, insisting North Korea will never give up its nuclear weapons program. Her statement came as a response to a recent meeting among the top diplomats of the United States, South Korea, and Japan, where they reaffirmed their commitment to push for the North's denuclearization.